Hey everybody, welcome to Sweetcast. I am Clint and I'm broadcasting from some undisclosed prison location, prison bunker perhaps, in, I don't know, a Middle Eastern country. We'll go with that. Today I want to talk about this. Jim Zub is talking, and really this is part of a bigger discussion that had been people were having on comics, and I've talked about this before in the past on live streams for sure, and that is the economics of comics right now, especially for writers. Now, I write comic books, including this one, Downcast. We made $28,000, 153. Thank you, everybody, for backing. If you haven't backed yet, check it out. But it does cost quite a bit of money just to get something like that going. That's just the case. It happens. Okay, so he's responding here to someone named Ryan Kelly, who says, writers make large sacrifices to make indie creator-owned comic books happen. I think all writers have worked and have paid themselves nothing or close to nothing to actually produce the book. Not sure if I'm supposed to say that, but I think it's well understood in comic book economics. Now, the problem here is, it does cost a lot of money, and it tends to be that because writing technically takes less time on average to write a single issue of comic than it does for drawing, that the artist get paid a full page rate, and that the writers are basically financing the deal, and they can hope to get back end profits. And if you actually are successful and you get back end profits, you might even then split half of it with your artist. So that happens. Or you do the project and you make zero money, and in some cases, some of these comments are kind of depressing. But some people make no money whatsoever. Okay, so Jim Zub is a professional comic book writer, and you may remember him from Skull Kickers. That was, I think, his first real series, and it was published through Image Comics. Jim Zub says, I fronted expenses on Skull Kickers and used money I made writing other comics to pay for art production once the book stopped making a profit. Yeah, so after the book stops being profitable, continuing to finance it personally in order to get those issues out. Over half of our 34 issue run was in the red on initial release. It took 7 years for the series to break even. Yikes. I can tell you the long tail after, you've got your graph, you get the big bump at the beginning and the long tail. You can make some money on that long tail. Generally, it's not a lot though. And that's just how it goes for a lot of things. But I guess you continue to have a career and you can make some money. I'm glad he broke even though it took 7 years. My goodness, that's a long time. Okay, so discussion continues. He actually added to that and said, was it worth it? Absolutely. Creatively and financially, having the series outpaid off in the long run, and I had to make sure I was okay with that investment no matter what happened next. Investment. If you think of making a comic book as an investment, I think that's a good idea. And really, initially, it's a good idea. If you have to put your house on a second mortgage or something, or you're getting into serious credit card debt, I'm going to have to question if that's a good idea for your comic book, especially if you're not going to be making any money or breaking even on it. That is a problem. Now, your first one, and I made the comic here, I view, personally, the first maybe one or two books that you publish as sort of an internship if you're the writer. So you might be bankrolling it, or it might be a business venture. And so you're going to do that, and then at some point, though, you got to make money. Writing is hard. It really is, and it does take quite a bit of time, even though it takes generally less time than it does to draw something. Writing still does take quite a bit of time and effort, and it is difficult, especially if you're paying the money. So here's the thing, though. It shocks me so much how many people are really okay with that, or they feel like it is the plan. Like you're supposed to be not making money in comics, and that is the right thing to do. So here's a comment here. Ronald Rump comic book. Here we go. He says, yes, I don't understand that. It's one thing to lose money on a business venture and another entirely to plan on losing money. It's a little nuts. Yeah, so planning to lose money is nuts. Most people, I don't think, plan to lose money, which Abby points out here. I don't think writers operate like this because they want to, dude. What's it with the dudes? Yeah, okay. All right, so here's the thing. You'll hear from a lot of people that you got to be a struggling writer, and if you're making money, you're a sellout for some reason. This is why people complain about unionizing comics or whatever else they can do in order to get ahead in comics. The truth is, though, that you don't have to be not making money forever. It does mean that perhaps the regular system or the traditional system of finding a publisher to publish your comic might be broken. It might not be a good route to go. And even perhaps the setup in indie comics, the traditions, maybe that's not right. I don't know. We'll see. I think there's a better way. And crowdfunding seems to work. Again, yeah, if you haven't backed it yet, $28,000. That'd be great. Okay, so here's one from Lily. This undisclosed person says, yep, this is a struggle right now. Figuring out how to make sure other collaborators get paid so I can get stuff out there. If I get paid too, that's a happy side effect. Not really expected. That's a problem. If you're an ongoing writer and you've written a lot, just writing for the sake of getting your stuff out there, it might be a hobby, but it is, man, finding a way to get paid is important in the long run. I think there are ways to do that for sure. So a lot of indie comics, I feel for you, man. If you're writing comics, I know the struggle. Fortunately, it seems like if you're connecting with your audience directly and really focusing on giving them what they want, then there is some hope there. Yeah, that is always nice. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let me know. And should comic writers get paid? What should the business arrangements be? I know I've got comic writers and artists that watch this video. Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you don't mind, back Downcast. This book's amazing. Make sure that comic writers and artists, for that matter, get paid. This helps a lot. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.